to your Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna, a global force for transformation, unlocking human potential one leader at a time. Are you looking for a boost to help you reclaim your personal power? Then this is your weekly source, where we dive into conversations about navigating your professional and life journey. So, take a deep breath, open up your heart, and get ready to ignite your leadership and fuel your spirit. Let's go. Welcome back to your Personal Power Boost. I'm Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. For those of you who are brand new to the podcast, welcome. Please listen in, and I'm hoping that it's going to be helpful to you. Subscribe, tell all your neighbors and friends do the same. For those of you who are my returners, good to see you again. Thanks so much for coming back. And for those of you who this is maybe your first time on this platform for my podcast, it is good to have you. You notice that I've rebranded, and it's great to just have my own platform, have my own podcast, and good to have you back. So let's go ahead and start with our affirmation. And I'm thrilled about the topic we're talking about today, because it is something that you are going to be able to use at work and in your life forever. And this thing works. I can't wait to tell you about it. Let's go ahead and start with our affirmation. Put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. My power is my ability to think a new positive thought, see a new positive vision, speak new positive words, write new positive goals, and do something new and positive about my life by taking a new positive action step. Be sure to take that action step. The question is, what was your action step last week, right? If you listened to the Personal Power Boost podcast last week, what was your action step? What did you do? What did you do to stop giving away your power? Okay, so be thinking about that. This week, we're talking about reclaiming your leadership. Now, here's why we can talk about that. I can talk about that with you because I understand, if you've been following me now for a couple of weeks, I understand that you understand what it means to have your own personal power. And we cannot talk about leadership unless you understand that you were born with power, because power is the source that actually fuels your ability to lead. Let me say that again. Power is the source that fuels your ability to lead. If you do not feel as though you are powerful, if you do not understand how powerful you are, then you will never step up to lead with intention. And I'm talking about with intention, where you understand that I am going to take leadership on this thing. Now, what's the most important place for you to take leadership? It's of yourself, leading your own self. So my definition of leadership is, do you trust yourself enough to follow yourself? There is someone following you. I know there is, right? I remember when I was a sixth grade teacher, and I could always tell when my students were following me, because they would imitate me. So I'd be coming down the hall, and here were my students at the lockers, and they would be talking like I talk, and they'd be using the, hand motions that I use, and they'd be, having the body postures that I do right in the classroom. They were imitating me. What were they really doing? They were saying to me that there's something about you, Dr. Verna, that I want. There's something about you that is influencing me. There's something about you that makes me want to follow you. So that imitation was, I was always impressed with it. And it was always a compliment to me, because I knew that someone was listening to me, and someone was watching me, and someone was wanting to be like me. That's called leadership. Now, for you, I want you to reclaim your own leadership. Where do you start? Just start with yourself. Are you leading yourself? How do I know that you're leading yourself in the workplace? How do I know that you're leading yourself in life? Because you are making intentional decisions about your next step. What you're going to do, what you're going to work on, where you're going to go, who is going to be in your life, who is not going to be in your life, how is your life going to go, how is your life going to flow. Excuse me. These are all things that point to the fact that you are a leader. Now, when you learn to lead yourself, You don't need someone to tell you where to go or what to do or what to say, because you actually have learned how to do what? How to trust yourself. Do you know most people do not lead because they simply don't trust themselves? And why don't you trust yourself? You don't trust yourself because you don't understand how powerful you really are. Let me tell you, you have enough power in your life right now to trust yourself. You know you. And if you don't trust you, what it tells me is that it's time for you to really get to know who you really are. To reclaim your leadership, first, you reclaim the fact that you are powerful, you know who you are, and you know what you want. Now, let's talk about that. Reclaiming leadership means that you have a good sense of understanding what you want. That means, do you have goals? Do you have a vision? Do you have dreams? Have you written anything down? Have you thought deeply about what you really want? If you're in a job right now, in a workplace right now, and you're simply not happy, more than likely, it has to do with three things. One, you're not in the right place. In other words, you are not doing what it is that brings you joy. That you don't even belong there. You weren't even supposed to be there. Two, you are in the right place, but you're allowing people to take your power because you're giving your power to people in that workplace. And three, you've lost your confidence. So as a result, you're not stepping up to lead. You're not leading yourself because you're not making decisions for yourself, and you're not leading others because you no longer have a voice. So those three things are happening. So for you to reclaim your leadership, where do you start? Very, very simple. Just start with a simple thinking to yourself of, what are you really good at? What are you really good at? What are your natural gifts? What do you do well? And why don't we start there? We start there because to build on your leadership, you have to build on a positive foundation. Let me say it again. You have to build on a positive foundation. Leadership starts in a positive place. So think about, what do you do really well? Okay. And then the second thing I want you to think about is, what do you really want to see happen in your life? What do you really want to see happen in that workplace? And the third thing, very simple, I want you to write those things down. Now, you're probably going to say, Dr. Verna, what does that have to do with it? Here's what it is. When you write things down, things begin to happen in your life. You begin to write your history. So I want you to write those three things down. And as you reclaim your leadership in the workplace, here's what's going to happen. One, you will know, are you there? This is where you're supposed to be? Two, what are you really good at? And how can you apply your gifts and talents and your abilities to your job? And three, you will get your confidence back and you will bring your voice and your leadership back into that workplace. You are a leader. The truth of the matter is that you were born to lead. You were born to lead. The question for you is this, two things. One, are you leading yourself? And two, are you confident enough to lead others? I'm going to leave that with you, and we're going to come back and talk a bit more about leadership in other episodes. But just remember this, you were born to lead. So use your power to lead yourself. All right, let's go ahead and finish up with our affirmation. My power is my ability to think a new positive thought, see a new positive vision, speak new positive words, write new positive goals, and do something new and positive with my life by taking a new positive action step. You were born to lead. Now go for it. I'll see you next time. Bye. If today's episode spoke to you, and you know it's time for a shift in how you lead, how your team connects, or how your culture performs, I want to personally invite you to take the next step. Book a free consultation at drvernaprice.com/work-with-me and explore your next keynote, your leadership workshop, or executive coaching. It's time to get your power back, and it is time to get to your next level.